Scotty V Podcast, turn it up loud. Every nerdy deep dive feels like one more round, one more tier list, one more wild, what if twist. Press record, hit that play. We could talk like this all day. Scotty V Podcast, superhero talk. Hit play once now, you can't log off. Hey, from the MCU to the DCU stars, we're saving hot takes, not just worlds from afar. Scotty V Podcast, turn it up loud. Every nerdy deep dive feels like a crowd. Scotty V Podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to another podcast episode. I'm Scotty V. This is episode 26 and Road to Avengers Doomsday Part 3. This week we're going to be talking about Dark Phoenix, XMen Origins Wolverine, and The Wolverine. So I hope you enjoy. Make sure you like, comment, follow, and I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy the video. So let's talk about the final main X-Men movie that was released a couple of years ago, and I totally don't remember when this movie came out. I think it was 2019. It's called The Dark Phoenix. So this is the second attempt that Fox is working on the Dark Phoenix story. What am I going to say? Jennifer Chastain is the main villain, which till this day I still don't know what she was playing. Because at one point they were going to be the Skrulls, but then they couldn't use the Skrulls because Marvel had them for Captain Marvel and they were part of the Fantastic Four. And they still had the rights for it at the time, but at the same time they were being bought out, so whatever. Basically, the story is the Dark Phoenix Force is unleashed because they went on a rescue mission and Jean Grey actually absorbed the Dark Phoenix, so it actually went into her soul, so to speak, and started to consume her. And the X-Men had to try to find a way to stop her. And then Justain's character, some alien that's trying to take the power of Jean Grey so they can actually be the superior race and take over the world. Basically what that is. Start off with CGI. For the most part, it was alright. It's not great. It's better X-Men movies. I think the X-Men movie in 2000 was actually more better, the original. And even the X2, X3 was better. Obviously, as the years go on, the CG gets better. I wasn't a fan. Jennifer Lawrence was just piss poor performance on her part. You could tell she didn't want to do it. Like, one of her lines was, oh, it shouldn't be called X-Men, it should be called X-Women, because the team was full of women. Like, come on, that was such lazy writing. And you could tell she really didn't give a crap. It was Fox's second attempt of the Dark Phoenix saga, which, you know what, instead of strike 3 you're out, strike 2 you're out. I'm making a new rule in baseball. Just to help my home team win, you know, Blue Jays. But yeah, the scene where she ended up being killed was in front of her house and bringing back so much trauma. Like, I thought that when Days of Future Past fixed the timeline, we would get something better, or maybe a continuation of the main continuity of the X-Men. But it actually just started confusing everybody and nobody knew what the hell was going on. At the end of it, one of the worst movies. I think if I were to rank the X-Men movies themselves, I think Dark Phoenix would be probably in the bottom with a couple of others. But yeah, the cast was fine. Not really much going for this movie. You could tell that the writer and the director didn't give a shit anymore. Actually, the director of this film directed The Last Stand, I think, so that was his second attempt anyways. But yeah, not fun. I'm going to keep this nice and short. CG was caca. Story was caca. I still don't know to this point. I re-watched this movie 3 times and I still couldn't understand the purpose of this film. So yeah, I was kind of disappointed because the trailers made it look so good and like, oh, this is the best X-Men movie yet, and we're going to continue with this cast, which I think they're contractually obligated to come back, I think, or they're just going to pay them out, whatever. But anyways, not a fan of this film. The X-Men series is officially done with Dark Phoenix, and then obviously we got the spin-offs like the Deadpool and the Wolverine movies. Actually, the Deadpool and Wolverines were much more better, except for one, Origins. So yeah, anyways, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, follow, favorite this video, and then I'll see you in the next one. Be good. Alright, next up on the list is this horrible shit show of a movie. It's so bad I don't even want to talk about it. So X-Men Origins Wolverine. This is the first movie that actually a single X-Men or mutant got their own film. Because I know at one point they were going to do X-Men Origins Magneto. They were going to do a whole bunch of shit. But they ended up just rebooting and doing First Class. Anyways, X-Men Origins Wolverine. We get the origin of the Wolverine and where he came from. He's a Canadian mutant who lived in Northwest Territories. He has a brother, which is Sabretooth, which I didn't know at the time when this film came out. I think it was like 2008, just before the MCU started. And the only good thing about this movie, and it's unfortunately, it's the beginning of the movie, where Wolverine kills his stepfather, and then his brother, like, oh, we're different, and you see the bone claws, which I didn't even know the bone claws were such a thing at the time. But yeah, it was just odd. To me, it was odd that we got bone claws. And it was kind of interesting, like, how the hell did he get adamantium claws? Oh, bone claws. So we got the bone claws. And it just, the whole sequence, just the opening sequence, they went through every single war known to man during that time. Because I think he was born like in 18-something. So you see him go through World War I, World War II, I think the Vietnam War or the Korean War, whatever. He went through all the wars. And then Sabretooth started going bananas and started killing innocent people. Wolverine is like, what the hell are you doing? Stop killing people. And then they get captured and they end up getting shot and killed. But obviously they both have healing abilities, so they actually never ended up really dying. They just died and came back to life. Like a few seconds later, we get introduced to William Stryker, Wolverine's worst enemy. So he's like, okay, I'll give you this, and you know what, we're doing an experiment, blah 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 blah. You know the Wolverine's origin. He gets into the facility in Alkali Lake, and then he gets adamantium put into his body. He goes on a rampage and starts killing everybody in that facility. His goal is to kill William Stryker, and yeah, that went really well. So he's looking for William Stryker, and also he was actually on a team. I think it was the Canadian X-Men or some sort of group. I don't even remember. Deadpool was introduced in this movie, but he wasn't called Deadpool. He was called Wade Wilson, and Blob was in this film, which is pretty funny too. Gambit we get introduced to in this film. It's just, the story was a mess. The CGI was just weird. Like, there was a scene where he went to a couple's old folks' home. And he's in the bathroom, and then the claws pop out, and then he's like, and then it goes, and you could see it's so horribly generated. He starts slicing everything, and then William Stryker's team finds him at the old folks' home, like the retired people's homes, kills the old people, which I'm like, damn, they actually went brutal. And then at the end, Sabretooth and Wolverine team up against Deadpool, because Deadpool was like Weapon 10, not Weapon X. Weapon X is Wolverine, but like Weapon like 150. I don't know. It's just weird. And a lot of fans were upset because they actually shut down, like they shut Deadpool's mouth. Is that him right there? I can't really tell, but whatever. It was just bad, and then this film was bad. The writing was bad. The CGI was bad. The action was bad. Like Charles Xavier was in this film, and it was so bad. I think I could do better CGI with my eyes closed and no experience. That's how bad it was. But yeah, not a great entry to this film. But the only saving grace of this film was the opening act, when you see Wolverine and Sabretooth fight in all the wars. Gambit was alright for the most part. They should have just used Channing Tatum and give him his own movie afterwards. But at the end of it, I'm glad we didn't get anything else besides this atrocity of a film. And Wolverine had a wife or a girlfriend, and she ended up faking her death. And then William Stryker shot Wolverine in the head with an adamantium bullet, causing him to forget everything and going into the first X-Men movie. So, horrible film. this is more of like a guilty pleasure. Like, you've seen all the superhero movies in the world, you've seen all the Planet of the Apes movies, you've seen all the other movies, and this is the only one left. Go watch it. It's horrendously bad. It's just a laughing fest. If you want to laugh all night, this is the movie to watch. X-Men Origins Wolverine. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, follow, subscribe wherever you're watching this. I'll see you in the next one. Be good. Now, let's talk about a Wolverine movie that's actually good. The Wolverine. This is a better Wolverine movie than the shit show of X-Men Origins Wolverine. Let's talk about it. So, this movie obviously takes place after X-Men The Last Stand, one of the worst X-Men movies. So, Wolverine is in Japan. But before that, we get an opening sequence of the bombing in Japan, where the U.S. bombed Japan, I think was. And Wolverine is just in the cave, like in a cave, or well, not in a cave, but like in a water well. And you could just see the Japanese soldiers just honor killing. I think that's what it's called. They hurt themselves, let's say that, and then the bomb drops, and then Wolverine saves one of the soldiers and puts him in, and then he just gets burns alive because of the nuclear invasion or whatever the hell that was. He's just burned alive, and the soldier just burnt a little bit on the face, and Wolverine, you could just see the pain on Wolverine's face, and he's just like recovering and healing, and the guy is just like watching, like he's just in awe. Like, how does somebody survive that? Like, that's like 10-degree burns or whatever. So I'm pretty sure you would die from all that. Your skin can't recover. A normal human can't recover from that, but a mutant called Wolverine can. That's why Wolverine is like my second favorite hero in the whole MCU or Marvel universe and DC universe put together. That's why he's cool. So then he goes back to the US, and then he's just in the woods with his long facial hair, and he's tracking down, and you come across a bear, and then the bear gets hunted by some hunters, and then Wolverine finds the hunters and kicks their ass. And I love every moment of it. It's so good. And then some girl comes that can see the future, says, hey, I need you to come with me to Japan. The person you saved back in whenever wants to give you something. And he's like, I'm not going to Japan, and blah, blah, blah. I really don't want to go. Anyways, he ends up going to Japan, meets the family, protects the granddaughter of the person he saved, because the father ends up going to hunt her and kill her, because when the grandfather dies, the granddaughter is going to take all the inheritance of the company, and Wolverine has to stop it. Wolverine gets attacked by these ninjas, and then there's a villain called Viper. I thought she was not an X-Men villain, but like an Avengers villain sort of thing. But I guess she's an X-Men villain. Put some weird creature inside Wolverine that make him not heal. And as he's fighting, and he goes fighting through the train, and he's just destroying everybody, he's getting weaker and weaker, and he can't figure out why. Because Viper put something in Wolverine's chest that prevents him from healing. Which I'm like, holy crap, that's actually smart to stop a healer. But then they actually invented some collars, and it can dampen your powers, but whatever. At the end of it, Wolverine goes to see the old man that's dying, and he's in a suit, because the suit that I think is like Silver Samurai, is actually keeping him alive. And they cut the Wolverine claws because he got captured. And you know how Wolverine, when he's hot-headed, he's like, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna get you, and da 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 da. And then Wolverine gets his hands like locked in position like that. The claws come out, and then the machine just locks the claws, and then they just cut the claws right off. You can see the bone all surrounded because of the old movie, right? The Origins, the best Wolverine movie out there. You can see these excruciating pain, like, holy crap, yeah, you have adamantium claws, and they get cut off. Yeah. And then the old man actually takes the claws and puts some like drill thingies inside, and just takes the power from Wolverine, like takes his healing powder. And you can see Wolverine aging, getting old and old and old, and the old man is getting younger and younger, and he's like, I can give you death let me take out power. And he did take the power, and then not fully to the extent, but at the end of it, Wolverine finds a way to defeat him and gets his adamantium claws, whatever adamantium was left out, and then he ends up with the bone claws again. So then he gets on a plane. He's scared of planes, and there was actually a deleted scene where he actually gets his suit, but we didn't get it, and it's unfortunate. But thank goodness we're getting Deadpool and Wolverine. We're actually gonna get Wolverine in his classic yellow and blue suit. Finally, that's why Marvel Studios is the best, because they give the fans what they want. So I'm getting off topic, but anyways, X-Men Origins Wolverine was not the greatest. The Wolverine was a much better film. Seeing his journey going to Japan and revisiting his past, some of his past, because you know Wolverine's been alive for over 200 years at this point. So anything, he could have interacted with anybody and anything, and get involved with other mutants and all that. So Wolverine is in an airport somewhere, and he's going to wherever he's going to, and he goes through one of those metal detectors, and he walks through, and no metal was detected because all the adamantium is gone. But then time freezes, and you see Magneto, and he's like, "What do you want, bub? I can cut you up right now." And because Wolverine was about to stab him with the bone claws, but he got frozen in time, and he's like, "How are you doing this, bub? I have no metal." And then obviously we see Charles is the one that frees time and Wolverine himself from doing anything that Charles didn't want Wolverine doing. It's like, oh, big threat is coming, blah, blah, blah. And then this leads into X-Men Days of Future Past, which I already have up on my channel. You should go check that out. So yeah, overall, much more better X-Men movie or Wolverine movie. CGI was a lot better. The fight was well choreographed. The animation, the CG with the claws and all that, the fighting, just the whole Japanese scenery and all that was beautiful. It was shot. One day I want to go to Japan one day, but not right now. But it was, the scenery was beautiful. The action was beautiful. The story actually made sense. Yeah, one of the better Wolverine movies. We still got one more, and I think that one is the best one. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, favorite this video, retweet, repost, wherever you're watching this. Thank you so much. See you soon. Be good. Thank you to those who actually stayed to the end watching the whole thing. Thank you so much. Make sure you subscribe, follow, share this on X, Facebook, wherever you like to share your stuff. And then, yeah, we have one more part for the X-Men movies, and then we're going to move on to the Spider-Man ones. So thank you so much. See you soon. Be good.